Well, it is Tuesday night. We are here. There is no midweek footy this week, and Justin, we're here.
That's not true. I'm watching LAFC right now.
We're not talking about LAFC. We're not here for LAFC. We are here for other things. Welcome on in, everybody. As mentioned, it is Tuesday night. My name, of course, is Seth Bidoff. That's Jacob Terrell. We are, of course, United Front, and we are here to talk about New Mexico United as well as the wide world of sports, not counting LAFC or anything LA Dodgers or LA related whatsoever.
Yeah, screw the Dodgers. Screw the Dodgers.
Yeah,
I'm with you there.
exactly. Yep. Shadow Wolf says hello. Well, hello, Shadow Wolf. Bolty, how you doing? So man, Jacob, I tell you, we were talking, just a second ago about, kind of throwbacks to a bygone era. Talking about Jumanji because that popped up, and you're talking about Space Jam and things like that, and I want to say, I want to throw it back to a better time when we didn't lose to El Paso. I want to throw it back to a time when we didn't, lose matches and have to park the bus for 90 minutes. But it was a strange week.
This is not going to be a Sky is Falling podcast. That's not what this is going to be. It's just not.
I didn't say anything about the sky is falling. I did not say the sky is falling at all. I'm just saying, you look at the week that we had, and up some highs and some lows, and obviously, last Wednesday night was a very, very low. But I mean, let's get. How have you been? How did you survive the weekend? I will say we didn't text a lot during Saturday's match, and we'll get to Saturday's match eventually. But you gave us a one sentence description of Saturday's match.
I did.
But
we'll get there.
We'll get to
the
that.
weekend was fine. I survived the weekend just fine.
Mhm.
Midweek, it was a little rough. I almost didn't survive. Some guy named Justin damn near killed me. If you're not on Facebook, you won't understand that. But Christina. But I was up very late Wednesday night arguing on Facebook because honestly, I just like to do it. Like I know they're not going to change their mind, but it's just fun. It's one of my favorite pastimes, which is why I can't have Discord or Reddit, because then that gives me two other places that I have to argue, and I can't do three places. I can barely handle one, and so so that did almost kill me. But the weekend was great. We'll get into the two matches here in a minute. I know I might be. Maggie says hello. Apparently, I don't know what she said. I think she was yelling at one of her brothers or sisters, but she said something. So no, I'm probably higher on both of the matches than most people. That's not to say I'm happy with the El Paso match. Don't get me wrong, but me and Christina both kind of saw that coming. We just didn't necessarily have the guts to predict what we probably thought we should have. So, Andrew, I love when it's like a roller coaster or like semi tumultuous, because oh man, it's great when people are arguing. Oh, you can. No, you can't. No, you can't. You stand on business with that, Mike. you own that. I'm just kidding. You can take it back for sure, because he's not going to start anytime soon, I don't think.
No. I unless Shakes does something just irrevocable, in league play. We do not see a Rosarena at all.
Did you just make up a word?
No,
it sounded like I know it's a real word, but it sounded like you were trying to convince me that it was a fake word.
So you guys don't think he'll play against AV Alta?
That's not
no, I don't think so.
AV Alta, sure.
I don't think he will.
I can see it against AV Alta, but not the others, and not the others in Brinks Tires Cup.
Because keep in mind that the 4 games guaranteed that we have in the USL Cup are kind of baked into what used to be our 34 game schedule. So it's a Saturday game. The AV Alta is a Saturday game. It's not a congested schedule. It's just kind of built in back there. And so I think we see Shakes in that one for sure too. So, and that's at home. It's our very next home match. So yeah, No, I think Shakes is in at least that one. Depending on what happens in like the first match or two of the USL Cup, we'll see after that. But no, I think we still see Shakes. So no, Mike, you can take it back if you insist. But if you take it back right now, I don't want to hear any. I called it. I called it if it does end up actually happening for whatever reason. So
yeah, it was just I don't see a Rosarena playing outside of USL Cup. I just don't, unless something were to happen to Shakes. It's just not happening. But Christina, we're glad you're here. And we'll get into it. We'll talk Wednesday night. This was and I'll start with you. Obviously, New Mexico United lost to some other team that plays and pretends they're choo-choo trains or something, and by a final score of 4-0.
In a pretty ugly kit, I might say.
Yeah, that
El Paso's?
Yes, it's like it looked like it just hadn't been laundered.
I like their
they rolled up in the dirt and didn't launder their kit, and I mean they also.
God, you guys are going to make me be pro El Paso on this fucking pod, aren't you? Sorry.
Yeah. And Harry, I can't turn my lights on. I'm in mourning.
You're in mourning. But yeah, so
season.
Yeah, Wednesday night Open Cup. Obviously, the cup run is. Can you even call it cup run? I mean, 2 matches in. I don't think it's a cup run, but 4-0 exit, losing to El Paso in the cup once again. We had some strong words in our group chat on Wednesday night, and I don't think we can say at least no one got hurt. I don't think we can say that. But I mean, obviously not the best showing we've ever seen from this club. In my opinion, one of the worst showings we've ever had out of this club. And
I mean, it's up there. It's like top 5, I'd say. Top 5. But also, like, I don't know. I remember I was telling Jeremiah we would be lucky to make it to PKs. Like,
it's
that
not even
luck.
It's not even our worst loss in the past calendar year to El Paso.
I think it was just a complete. I mean, I felt like we were limping onto the field even before the match started, because of all of the injuries and just trying to piecemeal together squad. I certainly don't feel like it was our ideal starting squad for Open Cup against El Paso. And it just devolved with each passing minute. It got to the point where I was just ready for them to blow the whistle. Like, stop the bleeding.
I would also like to say, Seth, that you had very strong texts in the group chat on Wednesday. Nobody else really did, but I believe I'm going to quote you. Actually, I'm going to quote you real quick.
By all means, that was atrocious.
Utterly pathetic. Cut them all. Nava can stay. Rest can leave.
Yeah, Nava can stay.
Christina asked, including Sanchez. LOL. Seth said, for bringing in a Rosarena, absolutely.
In his 2 appearances this year, Rosarena has not been good. He has not been. He looked absolutely flat-footed on multiple goals in that match on Wednesday night. He did not appear to put in any sort of effort into stopping a number of those. And this is, like I said, it's one of the worst shows. It's one of the worst showings that I've ever seen out of this club. It may not be the worst loss, but this is one of the worst showings I've ever seen. There was no fight in this.
I disagree.
El Paso ran us off the pitch.
I disagree.
I mean, I will say
I don't disagree with them running off the pitch.
I feel like, usually we come out kind of flat and it takes a while for us to wake up. And I didn't feel that way on Wednesday, but I don't know. I feel like I've seen worse when we do have like our A team. And I mean, that game when everybody apparently had the flu, that was a rough one. I don't think this was as bad as that. This at least wasn't our A squad.
Yeah, no, I mean that battery loss was bad. The loss to FC Tulsa was worse, last year.
The last time we played El Paso was worse. We lost 4-0 in El Paso, coming off of stretch where we were actually playing well last year, and they kicked our ass in El Paso. And that was with, as Christina said, our A squad. That was a much more pathetic performance than this. Let's call this what it was. The team did not care about the Open Cup this year. That's what this was.
I think that I think they care about Open Cup, but they're just, I don't know, the level of injuries that we've got.
Well, that's what I mean.
It's
Like
crazy.
in
And the
general,
lack of depth.
in general, we very much care about the Open Cup. But this year, we couldn't care about the Open Cup because we had to rotate so many players in. The first half, wall garbage, we still ended up only one down. And then Sanchez made the changes, bringing on Howell and, who was the other one? I think it was either a Jabang or, no, it had to have been Astorga. He made 2 changes at halftime, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember.
Yeah, but Terry didn't play an Open Cup.
Okay, then I don't remember what it was. Let me look. But he made the changes at halftime to say, okay, like we held steady through the first half. Now we're going to make some changes and we're going to go for it. The first 10 minutes of the second half, we didn't have control by any means, but it was about even. Really 15 minutes. And then the 60th minute, what happened? Jabang gets the second yellow, gets sent off, and Raiko falls asleep on that free kick. And then at that point, whatever happened after that was nothing. Nothing after that mattered to me, because it was at that point that I was like, okay, we just need to get out of here not injured, and it'll be considered a W for me. Because at that point, you're not going to come back from down a man, down 2 goals with 30 minutes left with the lineup that we were able to put out there and the way El Paso is playing. It just isn't going to happen. And so the third goal, we tried to push forward and score. It was a bad turnover. Raiko doesn't do anything else there either. And so I get it. It sucks to lose to El Paso. It really sucks to lose to El Paso for the second year in an Open Cup. It really, really sucks to lose to El Paso 4-0 at home. But like me and Christina said last week, like this was going to be a tough game to get a result. And for the first 60 minutes, I think we had a chance. If Jabang doesn't get kicked out, which means that free kick doesn't happen, which means they don't get the second goal. Who knows if it's 1-0 the rest of that way? Who knows what happens? We've seen way better performances by United where we don't end up getting the result because the other team gets a lucky break. So that very easily could have happened for us in our home stadium, not our home stadium, but, and so I don't care what happened Tuesday. It doesn't matter to me. We were always going to struggle. And does it suck? Sure. I don't like it. But it is what it is. And now we're out. I think we can definitively say, though, that if the club cared about the Open Cup, we would have had a better starting lineup out there, including Jakes and not Raiko. And we probably would have made different decisions and come out a little bit with a little more oomph, especially to like finish the second half and to start the first half. So no, this was a wave the white flag damn near from the beginning game. And when that happens, as we know, the score can get out of hand. And so, and look, I'm going to tell you right now, this El Paso team is not last year's El Paso team or the year before's El Paso team. And last year's El Paso team hosted a playoff match. This is a much better El Paso team. And I don't like to say that, but it is. It's just something we have to deal with. So the 2 regular season matchups, and I think we have 3 regular season matchups. Aren't they one of the teams that we play twice? Isn't it them in Colorado Springs, or is it them in San Antonio? Or San Antonio and Colorado Springs? Can't remember. The rest of the matches that we have with them in the regular season, those are going to be dogfights. But this was a we're gonna try to squeak out a penalty kick win, but when we went down 2, there was no help out. There was no hope after that.
Yeah, it's no matter how you say, I don't care if it's A team, B team, whatever. Like it wasn't good. You know, a Rosarena was terrible. He was terrible. He was absolutely flat-footed asleep on the free kick. Absolutely. Like there was no reason for them to score near post on that one. None. Like that was just awful. They seemed to catch us in the middle of, coming off a substitution, trying to get guys settled, and they went. And that's on a Rosarena for number one, not getting everyone set. That's on a Rosarena for not paying attention. He made some not great decisions. He seemed flat-footed. He didn't seem. I don't want to say that he didn't care, but like this was awful. It was awful, and it doesn't. I don't care if it's El Paso, San Antonio, FC. I don't care who it is. You come out, you give up a 4-bomb to anybody. I don't care if you're down a man, right? I don't care. You give up 4 goals in any match. Not good. It's nowhere near good enough. Nowhere near. So, it is. And on top of it, I'm just tired of El Paso. I'm tired of seeing El Paso. Open Cup, U.S. Soccer, Open Cup Committee. Figure it out. Give us.
We
different
played them 3 times too.
Yeah.
And before they're our last matchup before the playoffs. So we play them twice in El Paso.
I don't disagree, Harry. It did feel different with the change in schedule this year, change in format. Like it's just, the last 2 years we've seen multiple changes to the way that the tournament's run, and it does not feel the same this year. Now, I mean, typically we're rushed in between the first couple of rounds anyway, but yeah, everything felt off. It didn't feel the same. And again, for me, part of it is we're seeing the same teams. We're seeing this. I'm tired of getting to the second, third round, whatever it is, when you get all the USL Championship clubs. You see the same people year after year. Give me someone else. Like, make it a true Open Cup.
I hate to break it to you, Seth, but your pleas are falling on deaf ears. It's not going to change. And there's legit reasons why it's not going to change. It sucks, but there's legit reasons. These, especially when you have teams other than USL Championship, lower than USL Championship, and the travel costs. Now, you could argue that there's a fix there that they have to host, but most of these teams, especially like the
travel
teams,
costs get subsidized.
Not fully though. Subsidized doesn't mean we will pay for everything.
The tournament subsidizes the travel costs for these teams.
100%.
Yeah.
That's an argument I haven't heard until right now.
Mm-hmm. There's a thing in the rules: the travel cost is subsidized. So to say that someone can't travel, yeah.
So that's our taxpayer money is going to that. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
I don't know. I think I'd rather go to that than
but not
art,
immediately.
So.
Okay. Thank you, Andrew. So they still have to have the money up front to pay for it. Which, and so the bottom line is it's always going to be semi-regional. It just is. Except for that one year where we had like 2 regional teams and NYFC 2 for some reason.
That was fun. That was fun. I like that one. But yeah, I mean, I guess plus side, Oos is suspended for the first round of the Open Cup next year. No one took a serious injury Wednesday night, all positives, I suppose. But no, it's just, it wasn't good enough, right? We knew it was going to be tough. We said it. We all tried to be positive. We all tried to say, oh yeah, we can do this, right? Didn't happen. And maybe, a lot of it's going to fall on a Rosarena for his performance. A lot of it's going to fall defensively. A lot of it's going to fall, we weren't clean enough by any stretch of the imagination. Which, I think led some people to look at this and look at Saturday and go, okay, we're going to face a tough Orange County team. Facing Orange County at Championship Soccer Stadium, a place where we haven't necessarily done well. what's going to happen in that match. And I think this is the first time that we've ever legitimately just parked the bus in a match. I know people will complain about, the way that Zach did things and the way Troy did things back in 2019, 2020, but it's United goes out. You pick up a goal from Niall Reed-Steven on a penalty, and it just flat parks the bus, play to the counter. And honestly, I was impressed with the play on Saturday, far more than I could have said anything about the match on Wednesday. I mean, heading into it, did you guys have any sort of concerns about Saturday after the performance on Wednesday?
It was the same reservation of just worrying about what our lineup was going to be and injuries, and particularly what our back line was going to look like. Probably felt the same, like we'd be lucky to walk away with a point.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pleasantly surprised when we walked away with 3.
I felt pretty good about Saturday after Wednesday, which sounds funny, but Wednesday, to reiterate, Wednesday did not matter to the team. That was clear from the lineup. It was clear from the performance. And if Wednesday didn't matter, then that better have meant Saturday mattered, right? Because if Wednesday didn't matter and Saturday didn't matter, holy cow, we'd have some problems. But obviously Saturday mattered. And so after the Wednesday performance, I was kind of hoping that between Wednesday and Saturday, we got a bit of news. We've talked a few times about a defender that was on trial the last weekend in the preseason and had heard that he was still around from people that had seen him around. And we finally get the announcement. Tyler Blaquette officially signs with New Mexico United. He's a very big and physical defender, has spent time with Manchester United of note, FC Cincinnati, spent time in the championship over in England, has a ton of experience. He is a little bit on the older side, but it is another high quality body for the back line. So I was really hoping to see him Saturday. That didn't happen. But I was still hopeful and a little more relaxed with how we would look on Saturday going into it. How it played out, not exactly how I would have expected, but I think it was smart. And honestly, that second half, like you said, park the bus, right? And yes, there were minutes long stretches where that's what we did. But I think the important difference between what I deem parking the bus and what we did on Saturday was there were a lot of times where we would get possession from parking the bus and we would not just hoof it long. We would still play our possession-based style to use that to kind of kill some time and matriculate the ball down towards our offensive third. And then from there, we would take a quick chance here and there if we could. But other than that, it was kind of this play really annoyed me. Niall slows down, and I don't understand why. He's got nothing but green grass in front of him. He's faster than the other defender that's right there next to him. And he had like 5 yards on him and should have just taken off.
I think the problem here is that he has no one in support, right? Because you've got 3 defenders here. Yeah, you've got Val in the middle, but
that you attack to make people draw attention to yourself. And if Noel sneaks in behind you, you can lay it off. There's another 3 offensive players in front of their defensive players at midfield when he collects the ball.
Yeah, but you've got no one in pace. You've got no one. Again, you've got 2-on-3 here, right? And these 3, you've got
But if
Zico,
he beats that defender that's closest to him, he puts pressure on the goalkeeper and the other 2 center backs to make sure that they coordinate properly and make a play. And all it takes is one mistake from those 3 players, and either he gets a shot, Noel gets a shot, Or worst case scenario, the same thing that just happened and we turn the ball over happens. But what he did there was not the right play, in my opinion, especially with his speed. But I digress. All in all, that's why I don't like the. I need to change my screen when we're playing these because I get distracted by them. And so I
was concerned about Malik right here.
No, Malik definitely hurts his shoulder.
Yeah, he did not move well at all for the rest of the night.
It looked out of socket.
Yeah, he came down hard and he did not extend his arm. He carried it up, like he had a sling on the rest of the night. So I'm concerned.
Yeah, it's not great, but gutsy performance by him after that. And so I was happy to see, him fight through it. I mean, he pretty much had to because we didn't really have anybody that could go in. Seymour could have, but and so huge point. He probably didn't want to. They probably thought to sub him out, and he probably said no. He's been out of the lineup the majority of the season so far, and up until last week he came in as a sub, and so he wanted to play, and so that gutsy performance. My man of the match, honestly, to have a clean sheet and have you be one of the center backs in there while you're dealing with that. It was impressive.
Yeah, Malik did well. Obviously, Shakes had a good night. Orange County was pressing throughout the match. I think it was 7 shots to 2, 7 shots to 3 at the end of the first half. Really, only one save that Shakes had to make. It was real early. He made a good save out of it. But yeah, I mean, Orange County, for all their effort, I mean, to Josh's point, we settled, slow down, didn't play a 6-back. No, we didn't play a 6-back, but we put all 11 behind the ball, and then we broke on the counter, right? That's what we were looking to do, especially as the match got later and later. But yeah, and it's what most people would consider parking the bus, right? You play off the counter, and here you see, this is just silly by Rando. This foul here was silly.
Christina, would you say we parked the bus?
It didn't feel like a Troy or Zach parking the bus. It felt like just a calculated managing the game. So I guess like a semi parking of the bus. It was a neutral in idle. We weren't really looking to step on the gas, but we weren't looking to pump the brakes either.
I like this take by Niall here.
Niall is good.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I just
I told y'all.
Him. We all did. I said it too.
Yeah, I appreciate his first touch.
I know I kind of landed based him a minute ago for that play, but he has been really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why I got mad at that play, because I'm like, I know you're fast. I know you have talent on the ball. And it felt like you didn't use either of those skills at all in that play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I definitely missed Andy and Adam. I ended up just meeting the commentators because no, thank you.
Yeah, the Orange County commentators were not great. But yeah, obviously, Adam and Andy, no radio broadcast over the weekend. I was still doing Twitter and all that fun stuff, but decision by Joe. Decision by Joe O'Neill to not carry every away match this season. I actually have the schedule through August now, as far as the radio broadcast coverage. But yeah, so you can look forward to Adam and Andy being back on the radio on Saturday against Phoenix. But yeah, I can see the calculated game management, point of view. And I mean, really, when you park the bus, that's essentially what it is. You're trying to manage the game. Yes, you invite a ton of pressure. Yes, you try to play out of the back and play on the counter. And it felt far less nerve-wracking than a Troy.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to, in my mind, when I think of when Troy and Zach used to do it, it drove me crazy because it didn't feel like we had control of the match. We were just like on our heels, hoping that the
Mhm.
other team doesn't score. And it didn't feel like this. It felt like I don't know, it just felt much more purposeful and managed.
I think
Yeah.
that's why I wouldn't classify it as parking the bus, because I never felt like that. I felt like even though they had the ball, I felt like we still had control. And yes, we did put 11 behind the ball, but we didn't have all 11 in the 18. We were still like spread out through our half, and like when we would win the ball, wherever we won the ball, like
Nava's effort, sorry.
no, he's a dog, dude. He's a dog. He puts himself in bad positions because of it at times.
Mm-hmm.
Like there were several times where he would like charge at a player, and then would get beat, and I'm like, dang it, Nava, and then all of a sudden he'd be in the dude's back pocket again, pressuring him again.
Hmm.
I'm like, oh okay,
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
you're young and you have the speed and quality to kind of get back, but like if you could like rein it in just a little bit on those plays where you know you can't quite get there, and you keep yourself in a little better position,
Mm-hmm.
and then you still use that dog mentality to defend, you're going to be way better and a massive problem moving forward. And I think that'll come.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think when we would win the ball, we wouldn't just like, part of parking the bus to me is, you sit back, you pray, and then you hoof it long, if you ever get a chance to. And we would get the ball, we would still be controlled in possession like we see all the time. I thought some of our best kind of, playing out of the back moments happened in that second half, where they're pressing because they want to get a goal, and we were able to play. Like there was one that I like audibly gasped because it went from Shakes to the right to a couple different players, and then back to Shakes, and then to the left and back to Shakes, and then they think we're going to go back to the right, so they're already kind of shifting over, and then Shakes goes, nope, we're going to go back to the left, and then from the left it went to the middle to Valentine, and Valentine had like acres of space in front of him all of a sudden, and we just carried the ball downfield, like the Patriots in a Super Bowl, for Christ's sake, and it was beautiful. I thought it was awesome, and so I think, like, I got into it. Surprisingly, I got into it on Facebook again. I thought the second half was exciting as hell, because one thing that I've always kind of said was, I've always thought we've had the talent to kind of play that counter game in moments, and we saw that. Now, because we don't do it a lot, we kind of saw some sloppiness. There was one in particular where Hurst has a chance to play in, I believe it's Nile,
Mm-hmm.
and just passes it to the center back for some reason. But then there were other chances that I thought we could have had, but instead of trying to take that chance, it was really late, and so we just dribbled to the corner and had really nice interplay in the corner. Had some triangles working, had some tiki taka going over there in the corner. Instead of just, I don't like to drive it to the corner and then like box out. I've never been a fan of that. But we would drive to the corner, and then they would kind of collapse on that corner, and we'd somehow find a way to work it back to the top and work it around and then work it back to the corner. I mean, I thought it was a masterclass defensive performance in that second half of making them uncomfortable and then winning the ball and staying comfortable ourselves and wasting time without like dark arts. Really, there was a little bit of that, but there was more of that in against Colorado Springs from us than in this match, I thought. And so I thought it was very exciting, and while not the kind of performance we're used to, I like that we were able to win in a different way, because I think to have a good regular season and to win in the playoffs, you have to be able to win using different styles. And that was a style that we've never seen before. And I thought we executed it perfectly.
Yeah, no, it was good. Like it was a solid performance. Obviously anytime you go on the road, it's going to be tougher. and again, Championship Soccer Stadium, we haven't always done well. And, Orange County they're going to Orange County, right? You never really know, what exactly they're going to throw out on the pitch. Like, they're a steady team, again, they haven't really been flashy since Damas left, like I mentioned, but they had opportunities. They did, and they pressured us, and they had, they had plenty of chances to try to put a ball on frame. But going back and watching this match, watching it live, and watching some of the replays, and watching the match, and spurts here and there, Shakes' positioning in this match to cut off some of the angles, to put himself in spots to make saves. Shakes was really good. You go back to the header there, I think it was like the 48th minute, right? The header where the ball came in from the left and then it went just over the bar. Shakes was right there. He was right there in the middle of the net where that ball was headed. Like, he was there. He was ready for it, So
he still sometimes gives me a heart attack though when they pass it back to him, and it's like, is he going to get rid of it in time? I don't know.
And he did not in one instance.
Yeah.
Luckily, it didn't come back to bite us. But yeah, and anytime you're playing back to the keepers, you're gonna have that heart in your throat moment once a match, at least, every single time, and it just kind of is what it is now. I think I've gotten used to it until he does what he did in that match where I think it was McKinnon got a piece of it, and I was like, oh no, okay, we're okay. I did like his. It was, I think it was right before that, he like has the ball at the top of the 18, and then he like backpedals with one foot and pulls the ball back with the other foot, and doesn't. His left foot never touches the ground; it's just always on the ball, and he does that like all the way back to the 6.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah, just killing a few seconds here and there, and obviously the broadcasters in the match on Saturday, reference to the dark arts. I'm like, this is not dark arts. What Shakes is doing. You look at guys like Yuma, right? Those are the guys who knew the dark arts. Those are the guys who knew how to really, sell. And that's not what Shakes is doing here. But I will say his game management has been impressive. The way that he handles the ball, the distribution. Again, he does have a few nervy moments, right? That's not to discount that, but he's clearly the number one.
100%.
He
boy, does he have a throw on him.
Yes. And I know we talked about it a few weeks ago with Dev about what a difference that makes, and you can see it just spring guys, and it gives this club another chance.
I will say, I don't know if he's connected on one of those long throws yet. Like, he's got a cannon, but
he did. Like, when we looked at the match with Dev
with Hursty,
yeah,
didn't he?
Yeah, that one with Hursty, yeah,
that was a throw.
When? The only throws I remember are he overthrows everybody by this much. Are you talking about when Hurst gets the assist?
No, that one.
Okay, that was a kick.
That was a kick. But no, he has had some others, because there was when we did our conversation with Dev, there was a play from that match.
Yeah, that was the one to Harris where Harris doesn't get to it, because that was the home opener or the season opener. I'm almost positive that it doesn't get to Harris. It just outpaces him. But I'm not saying that he hasn't connected on one. I just don't think he has. And I'm almost positive the one we were talking about with Dev was the one to Harris, and Harris doesn't quite get to it. But it is fun to watch. Yeah. And he will connect on a couple of them, and they will be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And connect like perfectly in stride, and it's going to lead to a goal or a chance.
Yeah. But yeah, it's another look. It's something else that teams have to prepare for. And it's not something that I think many USL keepers have in their bag, right? It's certainly not something that Alex ever had, right? That Alex seemed to obviously Alex much better with his feet than he was with his hands, but yeah, see, exactly. Yeah, Jacob's raining on the parade here.
Okay. Josh, you cannot call me out for that when Seth rains on my parade all the time. No, Josh. No. I'm not saying
Um,
I'm not doing that right now. I'm just saying to call me out and never call Seth out. Shame on you, Josh. Shame on you.
but obviously a second straight league win despite the loss in the middle there to El Paso. United back above the playoff line. I know we say playoff line, it's very, very early. United currently sitting 6th in the table on 6 points with another match in hand, or with a match in hand on a number of clubs. And you've got another match this weekend coming up against the winless and quite sad at this point in time, Phoenix Rising FC. Our good friend Owen is not terribly happy.
Great
friend, Owen.
Love
Phenomenal guy. Always so complimentary of Albuquerque and the Sunport.
I've always said, a phenomenal guy.
Easily the best of the opposing media, right? So
100%. I mean, he is better than Phil. I'll give you that.
I will say that he is better than Phil. He's better than maybe one or two other folks, but obviously we'll see some things from Owen this weekend as New Mexico heads out to Phoenix to take on Rising.
But
and
before we get to that, Seth,
sure.
Before we get to that game in detail, I really want to know where you guys sit on where you guys had United when we did our preseason rankings and where you realistically have them now. I will pull it up here, but I believe
I feel like we all have them first and second.
No, I had them fourth.
I have always felt like it was going to be a rough start to the season. But I think, like I say, I really trust Itmar, and I like that we tend to get unknown players and that they tend to be, with time, they start to have some cohesion. If we can just get through this rough patch of injuries, I still feel like we make the playoffs. Where did I have them?
You had them second. You and Harry had them second. Seth had them third. I had them fourth.
I'm fine.
Well, and I had Lexington. I mean, I feel like Lexington isn't doing as great as we were anticipating. Tulsa? Is that the same? I don't know how Tulsa's been doing.
Now.
Tulsa's low. I mean, we had them all first or second, and they're like flirting with the playoffs.
Yeah. I feel like it's still just really early.
Okay. Seth?
It is. Yeah, it's early. I'm not terribly concerned. I'm not thinking anything differently. You said I had him third, which
yes, sir.
Which tracks, because I look at the table right now. I see 3, maybe 4 clubs that are overperforming right now. Oakland.
Care to elaborate, Seth?
I feel like Oakland started way too hot for what they are. I think they're going to come back down. I think El Paso is going to come back down. I do think Orange County is still a bit high for where I think their talent level is. But again, of those 4 clubs, or those 3 clubs, I should say, I feel like, Orange County is probably the closest to where I think they're going to finish. But I would expect more regression out of Oakland. I would expect some regression out of El Paso. So yeah, I feel like Tulsa's underperforming right now. I think Colorado's underperforming, but yeah, looking at where other teams are, there's going to be some regression, and I think we're going to continue to get healthy, continue to gel. You get Blaquette in, you get Malik back healthy, you get you get some of the other guys back, you get Jafal back, you get Zelalem back. I think we're going to be okay.
I think we're going to stay true to being the wild, wild west.
I feel the same. I think we're still going to host a first round matchup at least. I'm kind of with Andrew though. I don't think it's El Paso that falls. I think San Antonio is probably more likely to fall than El Paso, as much as that pains me to say it. And no offense, Harry. I've watched a fair amount of both of those teams not play us in the matches that they haven't played against us. I've still watched them, and Rubio Rubin is somebody that I really wanted from Charleston. I thought he was really good. He scored against us when he was with Charleston, and when he went to El Paso, the coach was kind of a question mark because I wasn't sure what Junior would bring, but I gotta say it's they're looking pretty scary, which would set up an awesome, like those two regular season matchups are going to be huge against them, and will make those more fun, and a possibility of playing them in the playoffs, which would be exciting as well. And so yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Like I don't want to see him in the Open Cup anymore, but seeing him in the playoffs, as long as we come out on top, would be awesome. So I don't know. The West is, I think the top 6-7 teams in the West are going to be not even a smile out of either of you. You guys both have kids. I did the 6-7 and nothing.
My kids are too old. They're
oh, they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, I agree with Mike. El Paso's defense is a liability. And you look at who they've played. They played is struggling right now. Colorado Springs. They beat Monterey Bay, who is obviously Monterey Bay. Yes, they beat Sacramento, but Vegas is also below the line currently. They have not played any of the other top teams in the West or the East. So they still got San Antonio, they got Orange County. There will be some regression for El Paso. But will they fall out of the top 8? I wouldn't think so at this point, but yeah, I don't see them finishing top 2.
I don't know about top 2, but they'll host a playoff game. I'd be willing to bet money on that. And I mean, to say their defense is the liability when they kicked our ass and shut us out. They held
I think we shut ourselves out.
I mean, I know, Christina. I don't know. I think it's going to be. We'll see. I hope. Hell, if I'm wrong on this, I will be thrilled. If I'm wrong, I will be the happiest person out there. But if you guys are wrong, then you'll be wrong, and they'll be bad. Good. And so it'll be a double whammy for you. I'm kind of hedging my bets, I guess. So okay, I wanted to get, because we often get like me, who's kind of overly optimistic and is like, no, we're fine. Like, look at the situation, look at the circumstances, look at the context of what's going on right now. And then you get some people that are like, oh my gosh, we're not even make the playoffs. It's going to be a long season. We suck. Blah blah blah. And the last 2 matches, there was Seth's negativity after the El Paso match, understandable. But then the Orange County match, there wasn't a whole lot of conversation had in the group chat between the 4 of us. And so I was kind of just curious, like, okay, is the sky falling for you guys? Is it like you still think we'll be really good? Is it this is going to be just how it is? We're just going to struggle all season, but we'll probably still make the playoffs? Or kind of what y'all's thought was there? Because I'm still of the opinion especially once we get healthier, we're going to be really, really good and a problem for most teams.
Yeah, Saturday I just match was done. I went to go spend time with my fiance. So I was like, whatever. I was like, what? I was happy with the result, but I was like, I'm gonna go walk away. I'm gonna go spend time with my fiance. So.
No, I don't blame you. I'm just saying, because of that, I didn't get your guys' thoughts on anything, and I was just curious, kind of big picture, what y'all felt.
Yeah, I think I'm just kind of bracing and holding my breath for our squad to get healthy.
Yeah, yeah, that's obviously that's a big part of it. Came out of the preseason, number of injuries. Obviously you got a bunch of new faces coming in. The guys that are here that are we've talked about the positive performances from some of these guys, even in the first couple losses of the season. Right, we've seen positive things, and in talking to different people at the club, there's a sense that this club has the potential to be the best roster we've ever had. And on paper, it probably is. And it's just a matter of time of guys being healthy. Now you got the concern about Kip Keller. How long is he going to be out? You have the concern about Malik. Is Malik going to miss time? When will Zalalem be back? When will Jafal play? When do we see who else is someone else is on the injury report on Saturday? Or
Alto,
yeah.
Mesa.
I feel like there's like names that I don't even know. I'm like, who are they?
Yeah, we haven't seen him. We haven't seen him yet. So like, it's as the club gets healthy, I think we do see more and more positive. And so yeah, I was I was happy with the result on Saturday. I was happy with the effort, and okay, like I'm good. Like I'm not terribly like yes, Wednesday was awful, but I think Saturday is more indicative of what this club is capable of than Wednesday.
For sure.
So,
and I think we've got this Phoenix match Saturday, and then we have an off week, and then we play AV Alta. I'm not saying that that's an off week. I'm just saying, if we're still banged up going into that match, it is still a possibility that we can rest a couple strategic players and still compete. And then if we do lose that match, then it just means we're kind of punting on both other competitions from here on out, and we're focusing squarely on league play and where we can finish there. And so in reality, after this Phoenix match, we have another 3 weeks possibly of rest time for guys like Keller, for Jafal and Zalalem to kind of work their way back, for Hal to kind of get over whatever is gonna be ailing him. Justin, I believe it was Justin or Josh, messaged me at the start of Saturday's match and kind of questioned that maybe Tyler might be injured, and that's why we're not seeing him. Why we didn't see him in that 18, which would be par for the course, right? We sign a new defender and he's already injured. I'm not saying that's the case. I don't know for sure. I don't think he is, but if he is, again, it's 4 weeks from our last match to where we play a match that matters again after this Phoenix one, and so I just think that we will be able to get healthy after this stretch. I think Keller will be back, if not at the AV Alta match, the match after, because at that point, from when he got injured, that'll be 5 weeks, a little over a month, and I think that'll be enough time. I don't think he's a guy that needs a ton of ramp up time to get back into shape. I think he just kind of, I don't know if you've caught it, but every time he's subbed in this year, he's hit the sniffing salts and then ran onto the pitch. And so I think he'll just take a double dose of sniffing salts and be out there. And so I think the Phoenix match, regardless of the result there, this is going to be a good time for us to get healthy and get ready for May and beyond.
Yeah, I'm a bit more concerned about Keller. Obviously, it didn't look good, him coming off and the way he had that leg wrapped. I would be concerned. Now, I don't have anything solid.
He only had
it
wrapped when he first came off and I had ice on it, but when I saw him later, the ice was off. He was still limping, obviously, but it wasn't as bad as when he came off. And we kind of talked about this last year when he joined us. He was injured when he joined us, I'm 95% sure. And the dude just fights through it. And so I think you give him a month off, which is what it'll be going into the AV Alta match. And I don't know. He might not be 100% healthy, Seth, but I don't know if you'll be able to keep him off the pitch. I don't know if he'll be like, no, I'll wait. I think he's going to be dying to get out there, kind of like Howell against Orange County, where he was like, no, you're not taking me off.
Well, I get that. I think with his history of hamstring issues, with the sports hernia surgery, with the concern over potential groin or hamstring again, I think the soonest we see Kip is El Paso, because if I'm coach, I'm not throwing him out there against AV Alta. Give Hoffman a run, right? Give Blaquette if he's healthy, right? Give Howell out there. I think the earliest you see him is El Paso, and
I think if
then it might be Las Vegas.
If he's 100% healthy come April 25th, which probably isn't going to be the case, but if he is, I don't think you hold him out just because if he's saying he's healthy. If the doc has cleared him and he's saying I feel great, then I think you get the minutes, you give him the minutes and you get him out there because you have a week until El Paso after that. And so I think, I'm not of the opinion of even if he's 100%, or I'm not of the opinion if he's 100% ready to go that you still don't play him. If he's 100% good, you get him out there. I don't care who the opponent is, in my opinion. You both disagree, I see, but that's okay.
I'm just worried about him. I don't know that we can count on him to be our center back that we can really pivot around. I don't know that his health will allow that.
Which is the one down. I think he's a better player when he's out there than Maples. But one thing about Maples was he was a freaking Iron Man and put in minutes on minutes on minutes for both seasons that he was here. I want to say that really the only minutes that he missed, he was benched for. Not, I think he picked up a small knock last year for a couple games, but for the most part, he was a dog out there. And you do lose that when you go from a guy like him to a guy like Kip. But that being said, I think the combination, as long as we have two or three of, Nico's sold me. I think Nico has looked rock solid back there. I know he was one of the starters against El Paso, but in games that have mattered, in my opinion, he has looked really good. So as long as you can have three of Keller, Nico, Seymour, Howell, and Blaquette, then I think we're okay. As long as there's a stretch there where three of them are healthy, as long as there's not a stretch where less than three of them are healthy, I think we'll be really good.
Yeah, a lot of wait and see. Hopefully these injuries resolve themselves, but in the meantime, we still have Rising this weekend. We started to touch on it, kind of moved away from it, but you've got Rising who are coming into the weekend winless. Obviously, the Rising supporters are not happy with the situation right now.
What?
Their
Rising supporters angry?
Yeah. Their attendance continues to fall and has basically been plummeting for the past couple of seasons. And so you come in 5 winless. They're on 2 draws, 3 draws, 2 losses. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're coming off of a loss to Sac Republic, 3 consecutive draws, and then lost to San Antonio to open your season. What's going wrong in Phoenix? Is it mentality? Is it the roster makeup? Is it just a lack of result? I know that Owens had his opinions as to what's going on. And obviously, I think there is some amount of distraction between what's going on between the club and the supporters. But obviously, nothing has gone right so far this season for Phoenix Rising.
I just want to say that the Colorado Rockies have won a series, their second series win of the year. It's a good day, guys. It's a good day. No, back to Phoenix. I think I kind of fall guilty of this, where there are times when I think of Phoenix and I still think of 2019 Phoenix, and I kind of hold them to that standard.
So does Morrissey.
When in reality, that's not Phoenix anymore. That hasn't been Phoenix since 2020, really, when they were going to go to the championship and they got canceled. Since then, yes, they have a star since then, but keep in mind they went into that playoff run as a 6th seed, and then got hot. They're not the Phoenix that that we kind of came into the league knowing, and and I think that just kind of like I don't think anything's wrong with Phoenix this year. I think that's just Phoenix. Like they're gonna be middle of the pack to lower half of the pack. Um, that's where their talent level is. That's where their coaching talent is, and that's just who they are at this point. I don't think that we should expect anything otherwise, really.
Yeah, I think it starts at the top. And
Yeah.
if their front office and ownership and all of that is just not really taking care of the club, then how can they possibly expect a team, a squad of players to perform and fans to be happy and showing up?
Yeah, I mean, and front office things aside, like obviously there's some sort of disconnect there, and they were for years one of the better run clubs in the league. But yeah, now you look at them, and again, there are people all around the league that are still incredibly high on Phoenix, no matter what they do. And Morrissey is one of those people.
I don't think Morrissey's that bad when it comes to Phoenix. Sacramento, yes.
But
Yes.
Morrissey's models typically favor Sacramento and Phoenix compared to other clubs.
Yeah, but that's math doing that, not Morrissey himself.
Yeah.
And like the power rankings that Morrissey comes up with, he's usually pretty fair with when it comes to Rising.
But yeah, you look at that, man, there's just this feeling around the league that they are supposed to be this perennial power, right? And yeah, they're going to be competitive year in, year out. They may, they're going to have better years than others. But the same can be said for a lot of clubs. But right now they're not putting it together on the pitch.
So we've played Phoenix 18 times.
Mm-hmm.
Would you guys care to guess what the record is there?
Oof.
I think it's 8-4-4 or something like that.
That is only 16 games.
It is
8-5.
Something, yeah.
It is dead even. 7-7-4. 7 wins by each team, 4 draws. And if you look at the like the timeline of results, it's pretty funny because so if you look at this, the green will be Phoenix, the red will be New Mexico, and the yellow or orange is a draw. It was pretty green early. Oh no, never mind. That's not the timeline because they switched up the sides. Never mind. That's dumb. I don't like the way they do this. But rising, and then United, rising, rising, draw, United. So it definitely in the same timeline that we're kind of talking about them being kind of not the same team. The results have the results as far as us versus the head-to-head results. That's what I'm looking for. Kind of dictates or says the same story. Like they definitely had our number to begin with in a lot of ways, and then since then we've kind of caught up to them and surpassed them, and so yeah, Josh is doing a fantastic Rising fan impersonation over there, and it's getting to me every time. And so yeah, but that I felt like Rising probably had our number still until I looked it up, like you guys did, and it's dead even. So that's kind of crazy. And so this will, I mean, if as long as it doesn't end in a draw, the winner of this match will have the head-to-head overall win or lead right now, and so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of gone that way with a couple of different clubs as well. Obviously we dominated Colorado Springs for a long time. We and then trailed the all-time series with Phoenix, and then now they've both kind of flopped a bit. San Antonio had our number for the most part for the first couple of seasons, and now here the last couple of years we had San Antonio's number. So, it's I think it speaks a little bit to the parity of the league, because obviously no one is drastically outspending anyone else. No one's drastically putting together, some super roster.
Holy cow.
Most
Is
of these
this
clubs
right?
are just retooling year after year with a handful of pieces that remain the same. But you're going to have ebbs and flows. The West is always going to be a battle, no matter who is there.
This is insane. So we've played Colorado Springs 23 times.
Mm-hmm.
What is the overall there?
Oh, I think it's 8-7 or something like that. I think it's
I feel like we've won more than them for sure.
15 New Mexico United wins, 4 Colorado Springs wins, and 4 draws. That, because like Seth, I thought it was, I didn't think it was like,
no, they had a
super
rough
close.
first 5 years.
Yeah, I didn't think it was super close, but I thought it was closer than that. But 15, 4, and 4 is crazy work.
Yeah, we've done work against Colorado. And like I said, that's just New Mexico North. That's all that is. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of parity, and Bolte laughing in Tampa Bay. I mean, Tampa Bay is obviously making a resurgence right now, but that's just, who's to say that that's gonna stay the same? But you got, again, I think the East is we've talked about it before. I think the East is gonna come down to like your top 3, and then everyone else. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of Phoenix this year. Again, they haven't brought in the same quality of player as they have in the past, and I don't know. The Wild Horse Pass, Phoenix Rising, whatever you want to call it, wherever they're playing this weekend, it's not the same. They're not the same team that they were 3 or 4 years ago. They're not the same team they were, even 2 years ago. Bolte, I'm done. To be honest with Bolte, I'm done with anybody that we play 19,000 times. Give me something different. It doesn't matter what competition it is. I'm tired of seeing, I got real over all of those clubs during COVID. I got real over all of those clubs during COVID.
Sorry, guys, I'm going down a rabbit hole.
I would love to see more like intra-conference matches.
Against San Antonio, we are 10-6-2. 10 wins New Mexico United, 6 wins San Antonio, 2 draws. This surprises me. Like, where I'm kind of confused there. Anyway, sorry. I will stop looking those up. Except for El Paso. I'm gonna look up El Paso real quick.
Go for it. But yeah, I looked at Saturday. Obviously Rising is struggling. They are what are they at home? They're 0-2 at home. So, and I think some of that again comes down to the to ownership, right? They've moved the stadium multiple times. Fans, supporters are having more problems getting out there. Obviously, attendance numbers are down. They're just not as good. And I think they are an incredibly beatable team. And I think this could be, United's 3rd straight league win this Saturday. It would not surprise me one bit if we did that.
So what's your prediction?
Pain.
They beat us once last year in league play, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think I as long as 2 of Howell, Seymour, Hamilanian, and Laquette can play, then I feel pretty good. If it's just Seymour and Hamilanian, I'm a little bit less enthused, but still think we can do enough in the attacking portion of the field to come away with a win, especially like you said, with the way Rising is playing currently. And by currently, I mean like the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you ask me, put some numbers to it. I mean, I trust that this club, can score multiple goals. I see no reason why we can't. We've certainly been more creative this year than we have been in the past. We have more attacking opportunities, and I think we have guys who are less unselfish this year, which I think is going to benefit us in the long run. And, you have guys that are willing to step up and take chances. We've seen some shots from outside the area, Christina, that really seems to open things up for us. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a win.
Imagine that.
Right? I would go out on a limb and say 2-0 us in Phoenix.
I don't think Shakes gets the clean sheet. I'm going to go with the boring 2-1 to the good guys.
Okay.
I'm going to say he does get a clean sheet, but it is tight. And so 1-0 good guys, in my opinion. But overall, so Christina, is your 2-1 like we get a late winner, or do we go up 2 and hang on to our butts?
No, I think it's like a 1-1. I could see Phoenix scoring first too.
That seems to wake us up a little bit too.
Yeah.
We tend to kind of be like, oh shit, okay, yeah, let's go.
And then I see us tying it up and then a late winner. Because we're kings of chaos and we like to give our fans heart palpitations.
That we do.
Jacob, how many more rabbit holes have you gone down?
So I just went down El Paso. So what's our all-time record against El Paso, including just Wednesday? We've played them 25. Played them 25 times.
That's just wrong. I'm gonna say 12.
For who?
For us. 12 wins. I don't feel like we ever tie. Not very often. Do we tie very often?
I would say you're wrong. Really? In that assumption, yes.
Well then, shit, I don't know. I was thinking we were neck and neck with the wins, and then low on the draws.
It's all very close.
8, 8, and 9.
Close, so close. 9, 8, and 8. 9 New Mexico United wins, 8 El Paso wins, and 8 draws. And so yeah, it's very, very close. At home, 4, 4, and 3. Away at Southwest University Park, 5, 4, and 5. So we've actually had better results away from home against them. And no, Josh, that is just, I believe that is just either USL Cup, or Open Cup.
Yeah, preseason doesn't count. Man.
But no, that was the last rabbit hole I went on. I might do and like that means against our 4 rivals, our 1, 2, 3, our 4-ish rivals, if you want to throw San Antonio in there, we have the head-to-head record on every single one of them. Only by 1 game with El Paso. Oh no, sorry, we don't against Phoenix. It's even against Phoenix. Then we destroy Colorado Springs, and we have a pretty steady hold against San Antonio. And so that Foot Mob is, I don't know. We'll have to see, because this does have like 2 extra matches in here that say International CF that I don't know what that is. And so I will have to dig into this site a little deeper. But how many teams have we never beaten? Oh, trivia time with Bolty.
Ooh, we never beaten. Oh, how many teams? Well, how many teams have we never played? Have we played them all?
Sporting Jacks.
I would say, yeah, other than the 2 new teams, I think we have played everybody at least once.
Have
No,
we
so
beat
maybe
Blue
that's something.
City? I don't think we've beat Blue City.
I don't think we beat Lou City. We haven't beat Hartford.
Have we
I
beat
think
Tampa?
randomly. I think we have beat Tampa. Oh, we didn't ever beat
Reno.
Reno.
We
That's
never
true.
beat Reno?
Mm-mm.
Hmm.
I
Interesting.
blame
about
Sergio.
Austin Bold. I think we beat Austin in year 1. I'm pretty sure. That's interesting. I'll have to. It's a good question. Do you know the answer, Bolty? And as far as how many teams? Oh, that's right.
I do not remember that at all.
My
Nine,
official
we,
answer-
we have beaten Bold because we beat them 2020
It was 2019.
for sure.
No,
No.
we didn't. We went. That was our first game of the season, and we lost.
Yep.
In
Because I
Austin.
traveled to it and I thought,
and we didn't.
I'm
We
a
didn't play
curse
him again.
on the team.
We never played him
Or-
again that year.
2021. We beat them. We beat Bold in 21, not 2020.
I thought they folded in 2020 after 2020.
I think so. I feel like I would have gone to see them play there again.
Rabbit holes.
No, Bold was after 21.
Oh yeah, right there, 21.
Yeah,
I thought they folded after COVID for some reason.
they did technically.
Like right after COVID.
Portland is a shout. I don't think we beat Portland because David was playing up there.
Yeah, no, he was playing with us.
No, that's right. Yeah, he was.
No, we drew against them here because that was the Freighter moment, and then
mhm.
we lost up there in 2019 to him, and I don't think we played him in 2020.
Tulsa.
No, we've had to.
We that was Roughnecks. I was thinking Roughnecks. No, we did beat them. That was our first win. That was our first win. Was Tulsa Roughnecks?
Yeah, I always get them and Fresno mixed up that first year.
Yeah,
One was our first game and one was our first win, and I always get them mixed up.
yeah. Fresno was the inaugural. That was the first home match, inaugural match. First win was Tulsa.
Well, damn it, Andrew. Now I know what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, you're not supposed to ask questions you don't know the answers to, Bolty.
Yeah, that.
Galaxy
At
2?
9:20 at night on a Tuesday.
No, I think we beat Galaxy. Because that was when we had 15,000 people here. That was the
No,
first
that was a draw.
Was it a draw? Oh, okay.
Because the one we drew, I think I would say we drew twice with Galaxy 2.
No, they beat us over there. I'm almost positive. Anyways,
That's going to be a great trivia night question for when the club has another trivia night.
we need to have a trivia night. I want Bolty. Have you ever watched?
We beat Tacoma.
Oh, what's that? Is it the Chase? No, that doesn't seem right. Maybe it is. Or Stump. Do you remember Stump the Schwab?
Yeah,
Way back in the day.
yeah.
Andrew's the Schwab, and we have to beat him in trivia. That's how I feel.
Yeah, so we played Galaxy 2 twice in 2019. We drew 1-1 in LA.
And lost here.
No, we drew here 2-2.
Oh, that's right. Okay. So still haven't beat them.
We never beat LA Galaxy 2.
Andrew, please tell me you remember Stump the Schwab. That feels like it's right up your alley because it's right up my alley, and we're similar in those effects. But okay, we got to get back on track here. We're pretty much done. But is there anything else league-wide that has surprised you guys that you're kind of like, interesting?
I thought that Lexington was going to be better.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I'm surprised.
That's
I
that's
thought,
one of
okay,
the
this time around they're throwing a lot of money, a lot of big names. Okay, this is going to
that's
be their season.
that's
But
kind
they
of one
do
of
have
those
great
like
kits.
they do. I love their kits. That is one of those
Brooklyn
like
with more points than Legion.
yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I was kind of high on Brooklyn. It, and
We
Legion is
never
Legion.
beat Loyal.
No,
What? That's crazy. What
Yeah,
about
I
with that
believe
like
that.
last second goal by
that was a draw.
That was a
That was a
draw.
draw.
Ilya? That was a draw.
Yeah, that was a draw because that was the match that Amando tore his ACL.
Yep.
Ilya Illich came on and scored a match win, scored the draw.
Yeah, and they were all draws. I don't think we lost to them either.
Wow.
Legion is the one that annoys me
Fascinating.
there.
Well, I mean, how many times have we played them? Like all of twice in their
No, I feel
giant
like
empty
we've played them like
stadium?
3 or 4 times because they've come here twice. I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
But interesting, very interesting. I miss Loyal. I don't know if I miss them or not, Andrew. Honestly, but
Yeah. Fresno, we drew in the opener, then lost on the road in 2019.
and so back to Saturday real quick.
Yeah.
We've seen Harris start on the bench a couple times recently, and then we've seen the back line kind of be in shambles. So I'm not even going to ask about the back line. I think we can all assume Shakes will be in goal. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
The back
For
line.
sure.
The back line. I think we can assume Gloucester and probably Jabang, and then draw some names out of a hat for center back.
I'm going to
I-
guess Will.
You think Will?
Will and probably
Yeah.
Nico.
I
I
think
just feel like Malik's shoulder seems messed up, and of course, no Kip.
I think we might see Tyler if he's healthy, which would be fun. But yeah, Hamline and Will probably the best bet, but who knows? Nico Noel, that seems to have been the go-to in the midfield there as of late, unless Zalalem or Jafal is healthy, or Cam. We have seen Cam. Cam has impressed the hell out of me. I know I said it last week too, but he impressed me this year too, or this week too, against Orange County. And I think we kind of missed him in the El Paso match a little bit. And it could be Zico and Cam as kind of the defensive midfielders, maybe. Any other names you guys think it could be?
I
I
agree with
mean,
you.
it's health dependent, but Zico and Cam is probably going to be it.
I think it could be Noel too. We've seen Noel play back there a little bit, and then have like crazy attacking talent on the pitch at that time. So really, the question that I have, we know everybody's healthy. Who starts as those as the 9, 10, and the wings? We've seen everything from Renix and Hurst, Archimed and Hurst, Nava and Nile, Harris and Nile. We've kind of seen a handful of different options over there. So I'm curious who this one is, and who you guys think this one is.
Boy,
No, don't tell me who you think it'll be. Who do you want it to be, Christina? Which I actually might be just as hard of a question, honestly.
Yeah. I like Harris starting. I feel like Niall's been really solid, although they play on the same side, don't they?
No, they play on opposite.
Or opposite? Okay. I will say Luther's done a better job hustling rather than just like camping in the offside position this season. I appreciate that. I want to acknowledge that. But
That was all you, Christina. I heard he said I heard him say, I heard Christina on the United Front pod say that I've been offside too much. She's 100% right. I'm going to be better at that this year. I heard him; those words came out of his mouth.
I mean, I was not wrong. um. Oh, Niles better on the left if you listen to Backfield. I've
He
not
didn't
listened to
play on the
Backfield.
left hardly at all for Tormenta, so I don't know what Backfield is saying. I would like to know where their information is.
Boy, but I've also really enjoyed seeing Nava starting. Hursty just doesn't feel like he's really clicked yet this season. I don't know. I don't have an answer.
Seth, what do you do?
Yes.
Like,
Yep. No, I mean, it's, no matter who you throw out there, I mean, I think everyone deserves a start. You know, like Archimed's been fine. Hurst, I will say, I want to see Hursty more involved if he's out there, and he hasn't been involved enough. His link up 2 weekends ago with Dayon was great, you know. But I want to see Hursty involved more. I like what I see out of Renix. I like what I see out of Lakava. I like what I see out of Nile. Like I don't care who you throw out there, just get them involved, right?
I get
Create opportunities.
excited. I get excited when Renix and Lakava get subbed on. Like I feel like they bring a good energy.
Yeah, they do, and Lakava's just been he's been on it whenever he's been on. Renix has been good too. Like I would honestly, let's throw them out there. Let's see what they can do for 60, 70 minutes. Run Phoenix into the ground, right? Put Lakava and Renix out there, put Nile and Harris, and just let them run at Phoenix all day long. And then bring on Hursty and Archimed, right? And just like
it'd be fun to watch.
Yeah. Because I think you throw those 4 out there, you're just gonna run Rising into the ground with how quickly those guys can get up and down the pitch. Now it's no Colorado Springs from like 2 years ago, but it's I think you could do it. But you just gotta get Hursty involved. You gotta get Archimed involved. You have to give them opportunities, and we've never been good at giving our 9s and 10s opportunities. We haven't. So
I don't know. I love how Hursty's played this year personally.
Yeah.
I especially love when he's playing as an attacking mid, like Mike says.
Yeah,
like
I agree with that.
When you have an Archimed in front of him or a Renix in front of him, I prefer that version of Hurst than Hurst just as a strictly number 9. But I also really like Noel as the one that's kind of playing in that number 10 role. So it really is kind of throw some darts at a board and see what happens. I think.
But maybe that's the nice thing about this squad is
it's a perfect reason for this squad
yeah,
to be.
Teams can't predict.
You can't game plan, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we can throw a bunch of different looks, and they're all just different enough, right? Like Renix and Lakava do similar things to Hurst and Nile, but not exactly. There's little tweaks there. I personally love Renix and Lakava and honestly Harris coming on in the second half. I know that Harris has started plenty and been productive in those starts too, but a lot of the times when I think of Harris and like the difference making moments that he's had, they've been in the second half. And so, I think of the Orange County play. I think of the play against Colorado Springs that we score on.
I think it's just a different game when he's on the pitch, period. Whether he's starting or subbing on, he just makes such a difference.
He does. Yes, he does. I think with the talent that we have, I think I don't know, because Nava can come in and be a pest and use his legs and run people off too. So I don't know. Um, I think it'll probably be similar to what we've seen, which is some combination of Hurst and Noel, unless Noel's playing deeper in the midfield. In which case it's like Hurst and Renix or Hurst and Archmed. And then I think it's probably Nava and Nile or Harris and Nile. I think Nile is the one consistent that I have there. I think Nile and Hurst will start for sure. Where Hurst starts, I don't know. And then who starts on the other side, I don't know.
Yeah, just the, you know what, just do the 10-1. That's all you gotta do. 10-1, 10 forwards.
Screw it.
And shakes. Yeah.
Renix, Archmed, Hurst, Lacava, Nile, Harris, Nava, Noel, all of them.
Yeah. See, that's all you got to do.
Just put them all out there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm excited for it. I think as long as we can get a draw, if we're sitting on 7 points through these 5 matches to start the season, given the circumstances that we've had, and going into a break, a 2-week break for sure, and then the AV Alta game is kind of, who knows what's going to happen there. I'm feeling really good about where we're at, and so just got to go out, play hard, get some kind of result. 3 points would be awesome, but even a point, and I'm leaving there relatively excited. Of course, I could change my tune if it's like we're up 3 and then we give up 3 goals and we come out of there with a point. But yeah, I'm excited for it, and hopefully it's another positive league result for us.
Yep, that's all we can hope for. Well, I think that's going to just about do it. We have hit stoppage time. Jacob, any closing thoughts?
No, I think I've said enough.
All right, Christina. Oh, by the way, Christina, united in our abilities.
I have not. So right now it's the top soccer. And I'm really, really hoping to talk to, is it Pia? This weekend or next weekend to be like, hey, what's up? How about that united in our abilities? Because I do feel like it targets kids with more severe disabilities than the top soccer does. But top soccer's been a ton of fun. Super hot. They really need some shade and hydration out there for the kiddos. But I had a blast last weekend. We didn't have it this weekend because of Easter. But yeah, I'm looking forward to go out there on Sunday.
Good deal. All right, Jacob, what do you say you get us out of here?
All right. Josh, Justin, Bry, Mike, Brennan, Andrew. Oh no, I think that's it actually. Christina was over there a little bit. I already said Brennan.
Jane.
Oh yeah, Jane was over there.
Harry.
And Linda and Harry, and I think Eric was over there for a brief second. Yeah. Space Kid. How could I forget Space Kid? Space Kid was over there for a second too. Thank all of y'all. Love it when you guys are here. Andrew, what I need from you is when we go to wrap up, I need you to have all of the people in the chat listed out for me, to where you can put it out there right away, because then I don't have to scroll. But no, thank you guys so much for being in the chat. I love when the chat's popping and we're up at like 20 people watching live. It's always exciting for us. I got a little soapboxy tonight. I apologize. Mama Christina, yay. I got a little soapboxy tonight. I was pretty upset over the weekend, or over Wednesday last week, and so that came out just a little bit. I apologize, but I'm passionate. What can I say? That I am. What is fan short for? Anyways, a fanatic. It's true, and so
we wouldn't expect anything less, Jacob.
Yeah, I'm glad you know me, and so, but I thought at the end of the day, it was a good episode, a good week. We will soldier on against Phoenix. We'll be back next week, hopefully talking about 3 points against Phoenix. So be sure, if you're watching us live, Make sure you like us, subscribe to us over there on YouTube. If you're listening on a podcast player of your choice, please rate and review us there. And then really share, like tell your United friends about it. Go ahead and get that out into the world. And we will be back next week. Like I said, hopefully talking about 3 points. And yeah, hopefully I won't have kids screaming in the background. I mean, let's be real, I probably will. But yeah, rabbit holes all the time. Hey, speaking of everything, I have cookies for you that I will be coming through tomorrow. I will message you tomorrow to get with you on delivering those. I also saw Jeremiah for the first time on Saturday at the home game a couple Saturdays ago. He didn't like me saying it for some reason, but the dude has shot up like a bean sprout, man. He is tall now. Even so,
Yeah.
we're standing there. Me and him are standing there chatting, and Gideon walks by, and Jeremiah's like, "Hey," and daps him up, and Gideon like does a double take and is like, "Dude, you're getting tall." And Jeremiah's like, "No, I'm not. Leave me alone." And I'm like, "Bro, you like it's. I'm sorry, it's true. Like you're like a whole head taller than you were when I saw you last." So, but yeah, we'll be back. We need to get Jeremiah on the pod. The rabbit holes. There's going to be another rabbit hole. I already have ideas for a few rabbit holes that I'm going to try to go on at some point this week. Luckily, there's no game. I've got a concert in Albuquerque tomorrow, so won't be any doing rabbit holes tomorrow. But we'll see. I'll try to have something interesting for y'all next week. Until then, though, love y'all. Somos Unidos.